I'm a graduate and I have to self-determine who am I with all this freedom? And what am I going to do with it? How will I achieve my goals? And why am I the way that I am? Hi, lovely peeps. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I'm really gonna work on my intro. And I keep saying that I will, but I never do. Um, so yeah. Hi, my name is Priscilla, and I graduated with a bachelor's in hospitality and tourism. And I decided to use my bachelor's for practical purposes, which means traveling and experiencing and knowing the world before I can begin to consult and give advice to other people on how to experience it. So, yeah, I just finished my bachelor's and I feel so free. It has been about 3 months since I did that. And in those 3 months, I sat the GMAT to get into a master's program. The first time there was a technical difficulty. The second time I did fail it, unfortunately. So now I'm deferring to the next year. And I just want to say to all the people who are struggling with their studies, this is absolutely normal. Don't pressure yourself. Life also operates on its own timelines. And I might look very chill and easygoing, but it took me such a long time to come to this conclusion, especially because I'm a Virgo. And no, I don't put too much credibility into astrology, but I should mention that I am indeed a Virgo. So for me to be this chill and to have, I would say, lower expectations of myself from what I first thought I was gonna be and who I was gonna be, and to be able to ebb and flow and change the direction of my life according to how the life events happen has taken so much of me, and it has taken so much time to learn. And I'm still learning. I'm only 22. There is still so much to learn. But yeah, this is just a little bit of an intro about me because I've been posting on my YouTube and absolutely nobody knows anything as to why I'm doing this, what my purpose is. Oh, there's a little doggy here. Oh, sorry. You see, the thing is, in Malaysia, like the general population, the locals are mostly Muslim. So I do know that sometimes there is a sort of prejudice towards dogs. And I guess it's easier for them to run away, which is quite sad. That's quite sad. Anyway, yeah, Malaysia. I'm in Malaysia right now. And I took a sabbatical. I don't know how long it's gonna be, actually, because I'm moving with the flow, as you know. And I took a sabbatical to focus on redirecting myself. I graduated with my bachelor's as well as a pre-master according to the Dutch education system. And so I felt like there was so much more to reorganize and so much more to work on than just the educational and career aspects of who I am. The last 4 years passed in such a blur. It went incredibly quickly that I just guess I wasn't able to process as much of what happened. And I guess that everybody needs to take this break. Everybody needs to have this time to be able to process all of the events that happen in their lives. Because if you keep running from event to event, and if you keep jumping from event to event without actually learning from the experiences which you have, then everything that you acquire, it really goes untested, it goes unlearned, and you can't apply that wisdom to any other area of your life. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn from the vast and incredible amount of experiences that I've had in the last 4.5 years in the Netherlands. I would say a reflection on those 4.5 years, they were quite tough. It was actually 4 years. I did 2 internships. I did my first internship during COVID, or just slightly after COVID, in a role of guest relations management. I absolutely hated that, and it really made me question if I was going to drop out of my course, which was hospitality administration. And I did my second internship in something that I could actually tolerate more, which was finance. Coming to finance, that's what I want to do my master's on. I want to get a master's in finance and economics. And the reason that I seem to be switching disciplines, even though I'm not, I see the vision. Okay, I see the full vision. So I have a dream, and this dream is that I'm going to study hospitality, learn from the best, study finance, and finance my hospitality projects within Africa. And to go back home and really develop East Africa, where I'm from. And that's going to take a lot of time. And I'm 22. And this is why I was saying, like before, you need to take time, take a breath, slow down, because I was working with the idea that I had a clock ticking on my hand like this. And if you're constantly working like that, you do not enjoy the fruits of your work. You do not learn from your experiences. You do not enjoy the wisdom, the process. The process is what matters. And I was so stuck in the process. I went in a loop. I became extremely depressed, and I had a lot of bad indulgences, which I'm not gonna talk about on here. That eventually led me to finish the final sprint of my hotel school journey with I didn't get a I didn't get a first class degree. I could have if I was in a better state. And that's why I decided to take this time and to take more time to study myself and to study what makes me tick and to study who I am and why I'm actually doing this and why do I feel the need and the pressure of today, apart from, of course, capitalism and the impending doom due to climate change. That's always arcing at me in the back of my mind. But yeah, there are other things and there are other reasons why we are the way we are who we are, and I just wanted to find and figure that out about myself. Now, I don't intend for this to be a trip where a little privileged girl or whatever goes traveling to go and find herself and figure herself out. No, absolutely not. To be honest, I think this trip was absolutely irresponsible of me. Because to be honest, I'm not in the best financial place. And I could have used this trip for other things, to build, to grow, to study, to establish myself more. But then it would have still fallen along the lines of build, grow, establish, find, do. But I want to be. Who am I when institutions are not the one governing my lifestyle? Because I've grown up in school. I spent, I think, the last 19 years in school. I'm 22, by the way. I spent the last 20 years in school. Yeah. I've spent it alongside my parents. I left my parents. I was under the care of another educational institution. I spent it working. I spent it in systems which were designed to help and keep me. But without that, when I've been released into the world, when I'm a graduate and I have to self-determine, who am I with all this freedom? And what am I going to do with it? How will I achieve my goals? And why am I the way that I am? So these were some of the questions that popped into my mind and sort of gave me a little bit of a quote unquote existential crisis. But I do have to say that it's very useful and it's very meaningful to question yourselves on this every single day. Okay, maybe not every single day, you'll go mad. But to have a little diary and a little journal where you keep reaffirming that you're who you are and projecting that self-belief onto yourself and affirming yourself and learning your own values every single day. So yeah, that's something that I've been doing. Pause. Yeah, and it is something that I intend to keep doing. It's a practice that I want to build within myself because I realized life moves too fast, and so do I. And I've been chasing life all this time, running circles around myself. without acknowledging why I am actually chasing life at this pace and why I'm developing gray hairs at 22. I wonder if anyone else has that actually. Developing gray hairs at an early age, even though it's not you're not predisposed to it genetically. Like my parents told me that there's no gene for that. What else can it be apart from capitalism and self expectations and your expectations not matching the reality that you can actually achieve? So yeah, think about that. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with a part two. It was nice to meet you.